Welcome back to the show. I decided to ask my entrepreneurs a question that a lot of us try to avoid because we're a little bit scared of it, and that is paid advertising. With visibility, when is it the right time to jump into ads? What strategy should we use? What goal should we be trying to reach? These entrepreneurs gave amazing answers to this question. Pretty much it's never too early, but also voicing here's what to focus on because I made these mistakes. Curious to hear what those are? Me too. Let's dive in. How early did you or would you jump into paid ads? What strategy has worked for you the best? I'm actually going to kick this one off with Emily because she's our Facebook ads expert to hear her feedback, and then we will riff off of her.
Yeah, I mean, so obviously I run paid ads, so I might say earlier than, I don't know, some people on here, but I think that you can start with paid ads sooner than you think with the visibility piece. So let's say you do a Facebook Live or you put out a piece of content. If you're just starting out, pretty much nobody's going to see that because you don't have a following. And so using paid ads strategically to start building that following and that connection, and that doesn't mean buying likes, it means getting people to see your content and getting people to start building that connection with you. What you have to be clear on before you do that is who are you trying to attract and what's the problem that you solve. Even if you don't have your offer like 100% figured out, you at least need to know who are you trying to attract and then what are you going to solve for them. So you don't spend any money and then realize 2 months later, wow, I just wasted all this money attracting the wrong person because then I created this product and it's not actually for these people. And so I think that's the crucial piece. And then once you have that, you can start running ads to visibility content to start building that audience. And then let's say once you're ready to start running ads to an actual funnel, obviously that has to be completed. So you have to have, your marketing strategy and know how you're going to take that lead and turn them into a buyer. But I think people wait on the visibility piece until they have that funnel, and you don't necessarily have to do that. You can spend a little bit of money just to get people to have more eyes on your brand, which today with organic reach being really low is almost crucial for somebody to build their business faster than 2 years of trying to get people to pay attention to them online. So that's my opinion on that.
Beautiful. And I want to hear Jill's feedback on that because she is so great during her launches and getting tons of eyeballs on her videos and lives and her interviews. So Jill, what do you have to say?
I very much agree with Emily. I think the pushback happens when people are early on in their business and they're like, well, I don't know how to run ads. I don't have money to run ads. And they get in their own way around that because they make it mean something bigger than it needs to be. But if you can even, similar to what she's saying, like when we were first starting was when you did run ads to likes. And we spent way too much money on that for really no benefit at all. And so we did that for visibility reasons because then we wanted to retarget to get our stuff out there. And we believe in amplifying free content. Like I'm a huge believer that is how you get noticed in the space, is not always going for the ask right away, but it's like kind of Gary Vee, give. So I'm all for amplifying free content. It's actually my favorite way to get everything out there in a way that's much more accelerated and targeted. And if you're impatient and you're like, yo, I've been at this game for 5 years, can we just hurry this bitch up a bit? Then I feel like that is a perfect solution where you throw some paid ads in. As long as your stuff's dialed in and you're not just sitting there, wasting time and money and freaking yourself out. I think you can do a lot more damage to yourself in your own oh my God, I'm screwing this up and I shouldn't be doing this and blah, blah, blah. And you get way ahead of yourself. But if you just take a step back and map out a strategy and start amplifying free content, I feel like that can accelerate your growth in such a quicker way.
Absolutely agree. 100%. Anyone else want to chat about ads? Ross.
So I have kind of a different approach, I think.
Bring it.
When Michael told the story earlier, right? That he invested all this money in ads and this whole strategy and that he didn't validate his offer. And so I think a lot of times why people fail when they work with ad agencies or when they fail when they run ads of their own is because they don't have the right message, they're not talking to the right person with that message, or they don't have a good offer. And so I think right now people have control over their own media in a free way. And so I like to encourage people when they're first starting out in their business, because most of the time they don't have any idea what's going on, just like I didn't have any idea what was going on. And take those three things, like who am I talking to? Am I saying the right thing to them? And then am I giving them something that they actually want? And trying to create a hypothesis around that and prove it. So, you try to create a hypothesis around that and get the proof of concept by making a few sales. And I think doing that organically just through social media, which can totally be done with no following at all, by straight up doing what Michael said earlier, messaging people like a straight up offer. Hey, I think I can help you. We should hop on a call. If you do that to enough people, you will 100% make sales. You'll be able to prove your concept. And then I think you can take that and say, all right, I think I got something here. The way that I do it and the progression I have for paid ads is I start on social media. I get it working there a little bit. I get proof of concept. I don't spend any money, make sure it works. Then I move on to affiliates. So I think anyone can build relationships with partners or people who have a Facebook group. They can do a live together. They can do an Instagram takeover. They can do a joint training, things like that. I think in the beginning, it's a really safe way to get started, because if it flops, like many of you guys have shared flop stories, we think we all have them, then you don't really lose anything, right? It's all like, hey, I'll pay you if we get paid. And then I think once that starts really working out, I mean, you can just scale it to the moon with ads, because you've got something that has been proven with partners. It's been proven on social media. You've proven the messaging a lot, and it takes a lot of that work out of, what is the ad copy going to be? It's kind of like, we already know what it's going to be. This is what it is. We already have something that's working. Let's just start running ads to it and just scale it up. So that's kind of how I think about paid ads, and kind of the progression that I would go from like being a beginner to moving into that.
Well said. Very, very well said.
I hope this episode brought you a little bit of clarity about advertising, when it's a good time to jump into Facebook ads, Instagram ads, in my case, Pinterest ads. I think that it's always interesting to have your organic strategy, but also to start implementing a paid strategy. So if you are interested in figuring out, how do I get started with all of this stuff with visibility, with advertising, I don't know what to do first, I highly recommend first looking at your unique personality type. I hit on this a couple episodes ago, but I wanted to do so one more time, just in case you haven't taken the Hollywoodpreneur quiz yet. This is going to give you a lot of insight into what visibility vehicle is right for you, what strategy to jump into, and there's a really interesting 20-minute masterclass according to what result you get, and it's totally free. So you can go to visibilityvixen.com/take the quiz and get started, and let me know inside of a review what result you got. I would love to hear about it. In the meantime, let us tune in to the next episode.